CFA is the only course here which covers the entire breadth of finance. After doing CFA, there will not be a single topic in finance which will be unknown. Achha, ab Ayush, tell me this. Let's take a step back. Right now, what do you want to do in finance? What is exciting you, life in general?
See, mainly I want to go in the investment banking and pursue my career in investment banking and want to crack some big finance banks like Citibank and
Okay.
HSBC.
Okay. What happens in investment banking? Investment banking तो एक profile हुआ. What exactly happens in investment banking? Do you know what happens in investment banking role?
According to me, I think in investment banking they go for mergers and acquisitions.
Okay.
What I have knowledge all about.
Okay. So let me take a step back and give you a perspective about what all investment bankers can help you in. So that you know कि okay, this is the work which I aspire to do. Is this work exciting for me or not? Yes?
Yes.
Sound good? Okay. So very good. Yeah. Let me give you a perspective. So investment bankers, they help the company to charter the course of their future. What does it mean in simple English? It means that they sit with the senior executives of the company and plan with them that how can this company do better in future. How can companies do better in future? Very simple here. There are only two ways through which companies can do better in future. One, either they increase their revenue or they reduce their cost. Very simple. These are the two ways. So that because revenue minus cost is equal to profit. So better in future means better profitability in future, which basically is decomposed into two parts, revenue and profit. Now, if you have to increase your revenue as a company, how does investment bankers help you? They tell you that, sir, let us do an analysis for you and tell you which geographies are good for you to expand. And then once we have figured out which geographies are good for you to expand, right? Which are the companies which you can acquire to quickly expand? Why? Because if now you open up your plant there, you set up your distribution centers there, it will take you a lot of time, but we have to grow fast. So we will also identify for you which companies you can go and quickly acquire at what price. Maybe you don't have to acquire the full company, you have to acquire only a certain division of that company, subsidiary of that company, maybe a company which is a competition of this company, etc. etc. Right? So this is the work of investment banking, and hence this effectively then eventually translates into some bit of mergers and acquisitions which you highlight. The second part to it is cost. How can companies reduce the cost? So the same investment banking companies can help you plan your funds. Now funds कहाँ से आएंगे? One part of your cost is you have taken a loan from certain banks. These loans are say at a certain interest rate. The investment banking company can come to you and say that, okay, we will help you raise money from some alternate banks, which will charge you lower interest rates. So that way you can reduce your interest cost and hence your overall cost and increase your profitability. So investment banking companies can help you. Or they can help you raise private equity. What is private equity? It is basically that you go to certain big institutional funds. राइट इंस्टीट्यूशनल फंड्स मतलब होते हैं जो बड़े बड़े कंपनियां होती हैं who have lot of funds and they want to give certain funds and in lieu of that they take a equity from that company, right? So they can do that, or they can help you in doing an IPO. That is also one of the way. They can actually go out in the market and do an IPO for you. They can help you when to do an IPO, at what price to do an IPO, how much money to raise from IPO. IPO is nothing but raising money from the public markets against your equity in the company, against your ownership in the company. So this again, investment banking companies help you in, right? Lastly, they can also reduce your cost by analyzing your company and telling you that, boss, which divisions are not doing good for you, which channels or which product lines are not doing well for you, which business units are not doing for you, and they can advise you to sell off these divisions or business units to some of your competitors who might find this more attractive, right? So this is supremely powerful, right? Because all this is helping you reduce your cost. So this is the work of investment banking. Together, by taking all these calls for the companies, they empower the companies to grow in future in terms of their profitability. This is the work of investment banking. Now, Ayush, let's pause here and tell me, ये जो काम है, ये मजा आया आपको ये सुन के कि ये काम करना है, या आपको लगा अरे यार ये तो बड़ा बोरिंग काम है?
Actually, basically, मेरा इंटरेस्ट भी इसमें ही है. My interest is also in
Very
core
good.
banking, core finance.
Very good, right? आयुष, अब pause करते हैं. Let me now show you the world of. Let me show you an alternate world. Okay, the alternate world is that your company will submit you the bills. That okay, yaar, my 1,000 employees, they have traveled. These are your, expenses which they have claimed. Please verify if these expenses are correct or not. Please now check whether this reporting through which we have reported the revenue and cost in our Excel sheets in our P&L, is this as per the government laws or not? Tell us how we can save taxes by doing some jugglery in our financials so that we are able to save taxes. Tell us how and when to file our taxes so that we are under compliance with the government authorities. Right? Now you realized what kind of work is this?
Yes.
Right? This is audit and accounting.
Okay.
Now, are you finding this role exciting?
Yes.
Sorry?
Yes.
दोनों में से कौन सा ज्यादा एक्साइटिंग लगा आपको? जो पहला मैंने बताया या जो दूसरा बताया?
The first one.
First one. You know why? Because the first one is the role of a fortune teller. What is a fortune teller? A person who can tell the future of the company or can work with the senior executives of the company to decide the future of the company. The second role is more about bookkeeping, which is about putting the books of the company in order so that they are in compliance with the tax authorities and the government regulations. Now, different people can find different job profiles attractive. If you find the first role attractive, which is basically the span of investment banking role, then you should clearly go for CFA. If you find the second bookkeeping role, because देखो यार, I am not saying one role is good or the other role is bad. It is depending on our area of interest, and I am here to give you a neutral perspective. The second role is more about bookkeeping, accounting, laws and taxation policies, and keeping the companies abreast of the same, which is mostly slightly a back-end role, more about auditing and compliance and taxation. Now some people like that role as well, but that is under the purview of ACCA, which is nothing but it is an equivalent of CA but in UK and European geographies. CFA is an equivalent of an analytical role which is prevalent not just in UK and Europe but across the various geographies, which I was just narrating to Ankit and Aman as well, that it is prevalent across the various geographies of the world. Right? Now, with this clarity, you should then choose whether you want to pursue CFA or ACCA. Right? Now, depending on which geography you are more interested in, because CFA is global, ACCA is UK and Europe, CPA is more US. And depending on what kind of work you want to do, CFA is analytical work, business decision work, and ACCA and CPA is more bookkeeping, audit and compliance work. Depending on these two, region of operations and the kind of work which you want to do, you then select which one do you want to be in. I have personally seen that CFA gives a very high upside opportunity because it is a front-end role where you take business decisions for the company. ACCA and CPA generally are back-end roles where you keep the books of the companies in order as per the laws of the land. and they are slightly less rewarding or become slightly monotonous with time. Initially, though, everything is new to you, so you find everything exciting. But with time, I see that people who have done ACCA, CPA, or for that matter CA in India, they find the job to be slightly monotonous after a point in time, less rewarding, right? And hence less exciting, and hence they take up CFA to get into front end roles which are much more exciting as well as much more rewarding. This is how you should break down your decision making into where you want to be and which regions you want to operate, and then take a call whether you want to go in CFA or ACCA. When it comes to finance as a domain, you are truly international. Why? Because sitting here, you will be talking to clients outside the country, asking their money to be deployed not just in the country in which you are operating, but across the various countries which you are analyzing. Like I remember my first case in JP Morgan Chase when I was summer interning with them back in 2011 as a part of my summer internship program of IIM Indore. What I was doing is I was analyzing one of the Hong Kong companies. I can't divulge the name, but I was, because of confidentiality. But I can tell you that I was analyzing one of the Hong Kong power companies, right? And I was writing the report for them, and I was actually sending the report to some of the clients to invest in this company. So now understand this: I was sitting in Bombay, which is in India. I am analyzing a country or a company which is in Hong Kong, which is outside India and in part of Asia. And I was recommending the clients who were sitting in US to listen to me, who is sitting in India, to invest in company which is in Hong Kong. Now look at the global nature of this advisory or this work. Now when such global perspectives have to be added and have to be leveraged, then Ayush, you can clearly know that I writing IIT Kharagpur and IIM Indore on my resume is good to have. But when I am talking to Hong Kong clients or US clients or other global clients, they would always trust a global certification or a global skill set rather than some degree or some university or some certification which is only localized. Now this to me is very, very powerful use case of why you need a global certification when you want to establish a career in finance, because finance is one true domain which is truly global, unlike all the other domains in this world. Friends, if you have reached this far, I just want to thank you from the bottom of my heart. I hope you liked this session, right? And I'm sure it would have given you a lot of insights of how CFA can help you flourish in your career. Please share this and subscribe to the channel so that you don't miss out on any updates. Thank you again so much for attending this entire session. Bye-bye. Thank you.